Welcome back, and today we have a new video. We're going to be installing the Redneck version of dynamat. So what that is this stuff right here. This is a roof flashing material. It comes in a big roll, silver on one side with an aluminum backing, and on the other side it is a rubber butyl tar asphalt kind of material. Long story short, it's pretty much the same exact stuff as dynamat. I've researched it online, and long story short, it is one of those things that you put in, you really don't notice any smells or any odors with it, so I think it's going to work out pretty good. I have not used it myself yet, but I'm investing a lot of money into it versus dynamat, so we're going to hope it works just like dynamat. So, next step here. After you have your roll, you have your vehicle, and this truck we're doing the firewall, is to start installing and cutting and installing your mat. You can see here where the gray area is. Where the gray area is where the original Ford firewall sound ender material was located. Now if you compare them side by side, they're about the same thickness. That should be a good example there. So they're about the same thickness, other than this stuff is dry, it's brittle. I already have it cleaned off here, but you can see this line here, it's supposed to go over to here and down. Up here, it's supposed to continue over here and down. However, it did not. Somewhere in the install process, this got folded down, and that never bonded. And even before paint, as you can see, there's paint behind here, but not here. It somehow sagged and caused issues. So, one, I wanted to get rid of that just because it is what it is. I'm not wanting to deal with it at all. I'm not wanting to have any horrible insulation and have issues with the insulation. So what I did is I took that out, scraped it all off. This came off really easy. However, the stuff on the floorboards does not come off near as easy. So that also tells me, since it's the same stuff, this wasn't bonded very well. So we're replacing it with Redneck dynamat again. I've already cut this one to length. You can see well there, it fits from right here whole way over to right here. So it's around the whole center bump out section, the dog houses, if this was a van. It's roughly going to fit pretty well. Next step is to go ahead, after you have it cut, peel off the backing. That exposes the sticky part. Now this is not that sticky, as you can see. The key here is pressure. You must put pressure on it to get it to stay. So, wow, that is bright. Once you put it in place, give a nice run across with your hand to get roughly where you want it. Now for the name brand product Dynamat, they sell this wonderful roller for 20 some bucks. Well, I didn't think that far ahead. I didn't buy a roller. You can use a paint roller. Use a flooring install roller, will work great. Or a really hard paint roller if you take the nap off it, or it's a very low nap roller. That can do too. But found my little ball peen hammer here. This is a great tool. I, as you can see, use it pretty often. This is a new use for it though. With the ball peen hammer, you have a nice curved edge to get on the curved edges, like you can see in the video up around here that I've done. And you have a flat edge for the flats. So you just take that, run it across a couple times, and it's going to cause the pressure you need, a little bit of elbow grease, to cause that to bond. Once that bonds, it's set on there, and it's not going anywhere. As you can see, it's pretty hard to pull off now. Once you get some heat to it and some time, the adhesive that is on this stuff will actually cure out. When it cures out, you're going to be even better off to have it stay on without any issues. So, long story short, time is your friend here. This truck's getting a full restoration. It will probably be covered in more videos as I go and run out of actual non-project type of things to do. So this truck's getting a full restoration. Well, modification, I'm sorry. I actually posted it on the forum and I was getting yelled at for using the word restoration because it's not going back to 100% factory. However, it is going back to look and function like or better than original on the inside. And this is a great product for that because it's going to make it better than original. So that one's pretty well on. I'll work on that a little bit later. We're going to cover one more piece here today. So you hold up your Redneck dynamat, get your rough length you need, bring it down, take any good razor blade, simply hold the blade so it's halfway in, halfway out, grab and pull, cuts right through. I know how to block the view on that one a little bit, but it's pretty simple there as far as the cutting process goes. Now this stuff goes a long way. By a long way, I mean a really long way. You don't need it on every surface. You don't need to cover every last gap. This is going to be used for sound insulation mostly, but if you put the reflective side towards your heat source, you'll have some heat insulation there too. In this case, it's not going to be very good heat insulation because reflective side's going inside. I may or may not at one point put some other material on the outside of the firewall to clean it up a bit, make it a little more aesthetically pleasing, and to make it a little more functional. But that's still to be determined. Now, one thing you may have to do is, if you look here, I have this bowing up. It's all kinds of different funky corners. It's not lining up very well. So you may have to cut it. Stick your razor blade in, pull up. That's it. Nice, sharp razor blade, and you'll be good to go. So we're going to finish this one. Get it on there pretty good. Now, I have to make one more cut here to relieve some tension to get around this corner. And this stuff does stretch pretty good. So you have some stretching abilities with it too. We're going to take our good old ball peen hammer and use the round end to get around this curved spot where the dash bracket mounts. We're going to take the flat end, smooth out just about everything else. A few wrinkles and bubbles are not going to matter. You kind of want to get bubbles themselves out, simply because a bubble is a place you could potentially trap moisture. However, it's, again, not going to be a make or break ordeal if you have a little bubble here and there. So we're going to take the ball peen end up in through here in this tight area. A little pressure and wobbling. We'll get that to smooth out and get that to adhere really well. As you can see, stuck on there. That's going to wrap up our video on the Redneck dynamat, which, just to review, is nothing but roof flashing that is self-adhesive. You peel off the back, put some pressure on it, and it sticks right on without any real issues. Keep an eye out, keep tuned for our next video, and we'll probably be covering more on this vehicle too as the process continues. Right now I have a lot of metal work to do, so once that is finished, the cab will be going back on, going back together. It's going to get rear window rebuilt for the sliders there, resealed. It's going to get a new windshield in it, which I'll probably have to pay someone to do, just because you break a windshield, it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost to have someone to pay it, paying someone to do it, and a bunch of other stuff. So depending on the number of views and subscribers, I'll go ahead and I'll get more and more videos on this truck here too, as we go throughout the process of restoring it or modifying it to my needs. Thank you for watching. Please like or comment.